Welcome here, folks, to the Pictou County Wellness Center for this game between the Weeks and the Rush. Puck drop is about to be underway to start this game off, and here we go. One back by the Rush. They'll throw it in. And it's dumped into the corner, and we'll get an icing on that play. The Weeks' record so far, 7-0. They came out of the Valley last night with a 4-0 win. Rush are 2-5, so they're looking for a win to add to the campaign. One back by Rush, thrown around the corner to 91, and it'll go out of the zone. Bertram will pick it up behind his own net and move it up. Thrown back in, Bertram's after it into the corner. It's thrown around to Croft. Croft will throw it back for Bertram. And the Weeks will try and get out of their zone. And they will, and they'll throw it to the neutral ice. Tanner and Croft battling for it. That'll go down for number 37 of the Rush. He'll bat it around. And that'll get moved up by the Rush. And dumped on net into the Weeks zone. Battle in the corner. Kidd comes out with it. He'll move it in to the neutral zone and dump it in to the Rush zone. He's still got it in the corner. Rush will take possession behind their own net. Sims after it. And that'll be dumped out to Miller. Miller's got a good chance. He walks in, shot on net, and that's saved by Thorne. Kidd with it now. He'll move it into the Rush zone. He's in with it. He'll have a fancy move, try and go for the wraparound, but that's blocked off by number 9 of the Rush. And that's moved out into the center zone. Sullivan picking it up now. He'll move it up for Kidd. Kidd couldn't get a handle on it. Back for Cameron. Cameron moves in. He's got some speed. Fancy move around. Shot on net, and that's off the pad. Cameron's still battling for it in the corner. He'll get some help from Sim. And that's moved over for Allen on the Rush. Can't get a hold of it, so that'll be dumped down. Rush will move it out to the neutral zone, but not without White dumping it back in. The Rush now moving in and dumping it to the weak zone. Thorne will play it. Up for White into the neutral zone, and he'll throw it in. The Weeks defense will change. White's Swain Story's got it behind the net. He'll try and throw it up, but that the pass gets blocked. Rush now, they'll dump it in. Bertram to White. White in the corner now. He'll move it over. McCachran over. Here comes McCachran. He'll stop and throw it in. White now along the boards. He gets hit into it, so he'll lose possession and move it up to Bertram. Bertram shot on net, that's wide. White will get the rebound, but he can't get a shot off. Again, and a glove save. Pretty back and forth game here to start off. So we'll see a draw here in the Rush zone with Green taking that for the Weeks. One back by the Rush. They'll move it around. Along the boards, battle for it. The captain. He'll move it out. And that's up to McCachran, a little too far for gold. Grace trying to get it in. But Bertram will take possession. For McCachran. He'll try and move it up, but Miller's there to block that one. Grace now. Picked up by McCachran. Picked up and out by Green. And that'll be dumped down to Williams. Williams over. So McKenzie back to Williams. Williams is having a look, and he'll dump it in to the Rush zone. Rush now. They'll move it up. Blocked off by Croft and picked up by White, but that's an offside. Zone face-off right outside of the rush. And it's down into the weak zone. Nick McKenzie's after it. McKenzie, he'll throw it over. And moved up by Williams. Williams now, he'll move it up. Throw back to Williams by White. Frazier now behind the net. Week's top scorer so far this year. Over for Williams. Williams can't get a handle on it, but Croft picks it up for him. Croft shot on net. Rebounds alive and covered. The Weeks will make a change here. And so will the Rush with a late change. And here we go. Sim taking the drop for the Weeks. That'll be one back, but Kidd picks it up. He'll be slammed into the boards, rebounds alive. And covered. Face off right to the left of the Rush goalie. Here comes Sim. He'll try and play it in front. That's blocked off. And moved up. Cameron picks it up. Down for Kidd. Kidd moved over to Sim. But that's cleared, but kept in by Cameron. Sim now in the corner. He'll skate with it, have a look, and he'll try and make a play. Kidd can't bury that one. And that'll get rimmed around and out to the neutral zone. Here comes Gracie. He's got some speed. Sullivan blocks his pass. And that's moved up for George. George back for Sullivan. Sullivan moves it and dumps it into the Rush zone. And he'll make a change. Sim's after it. He's trying to get possession. Swain now. He'll move it over for Kidd. Kidd is in. He'll try and make a play, but that's blocked. And moved up by Miller. Gracie's after it behind the Weeks net now. With Burcham giving him some pressure. Gold. For Gracie. Swain will try and take possession of that for the Weeks, and it'll be picked up. Tanner with it. He'll move it into the neutral zone and bat it in, and that's offside. 13:43 left to go here in the first period. The draw will be right outside the Rush zone. A faulty start. They're going to kick McIntosh out and put Swain in. Battle forward on the crease, and that's one back by Swain. Williams to McKenzie. And tipped in by McIntosh. Down behind the net. They're battling for it. And that'll get thrown out to Dunn over to Miller. But Tanner's there to block that pass, and he'll bring it in. Tanner with a fancy move. He'll put it down for Swain, and Swain will rim it around to McKenzie, sorry. Swain now. He's got it in the corner. He'll go for a skate around, drop it off for Williams. Williams moves in, shot on net. That's just off the pad. Swain picks up the rebound, and he'll skate for Tanner. Tanner, he'll move in. Backhand, that's off the goalie. McIntosh now. Up for Williams. Williams back to McIntosh. Over for Williams. Williams will dump it in down to the corner for Swain. Swain will run around for McIntosh. Up for McKenzie. McKenzie will take a shot. That's low. And that'll be saved. 12:37 left to go. Both teams will make a change here. And here we go. Puck's been dropped. Green battling for it. And that's one back by the Russian. They'll take possession and get it out of their zone. Thorne will come under the net to play it in the weak zone. Risky play there. Rebound in front. McKenzie's trying to clear it, Sullivan. And it's covered up by Thorne. A risky play there. Almost resulted in a goal for the Rush. But Thorne shuts the door. Puck drop here. In the weak zone. One up by the Rush. He'll take a shot, and that goes high. Cameron with it now. He'll have a look and move it over to Sullivan. Sullivan up for Green. Green tips it to Eisner. Eisner will try and get it in, but the Rush will take possession of that and throw it into the neutral zone. Cameron back for Sullivan. For Pugsley. Pugsley along the boards. Kept in by Sullivan, but it's out. It's a battle for it along the boards. That's picked up by the Rush. Moved up, but blocked off by Eisner, and he'll dump it into the Rush zone. Number 4 for the Rush now. He'll move it into the neutral zone. Picked up. Now back for Cameron. Cameron moves it over to Sullivan. He'll move it up. Tipped off for Eisner. He can't get a handle on it. So Frazier will dump it in. Rimmed around. Up for McCackern. He'll take a shot on net. That's tipped high. Moved around the boards for Bircham. He'll dump it in. White can't get a handle on that, so Kidd will go into the other corner and get it. And the Rush will clear. McCackern stops it, however. Bircham now. Shot on net. That's wide. McCackern throwing back in. White's after it along the boards. He'll take it out. Moves over to Bircham. Shot on net. That's a block save. And the Rush will clear their zone. Here comes Heb. And he'll dump it in. Onto net, stopped by Thorne, and the Rush will get a change. While Bircham and Kidd will try and get some speed. Kidd loses the puck. Frazier's there to battle for it, though. And Gracie will pick that up and hand it off to his defenseman. Shot up. Gracie moves it back. Moved up for Gracie, and that's an offside. Weeks will change here. And the draw will be right outside of the Rush zone. Sim taking the draw. That's one back by the Rush. Hit the glass and rimmed out. Gold will pick it up and he'll try and bring it in. But that's picked up by the Weeks. Gold keeping it in, however. Croft now. He'll move it back for Williams. For McKenzie. McKenzie moved up. Sims after it. He's got some speed, but he can't get there in time. So that'll move behind the net and rimmed out. It's a race for it. Gracie and McKenzie into the weak zone. Gracie's got it behind the net. He'll make a play in front, but that's tipped away by Thorne. A great defensive play there with the stick by the goalie. Moved over for Gold. He'll move in. Shot on net. That's wide. Croft will move it out for Sim. Sim in the neutral zone now. He'll make a fancy play and he'll walk in. Sim with a toe drag. Move back. Shot on net by Frazier. Or Williams, sorry, and that's potted in by George. A great effort by the forward line there. George will pot in the rebound for the Weeks' first goal of the game. Great play to break out of their zone there. A couple missed shots, but George will tap in the rebound. We're having a quick intermission here, folks. We're a timeout, sorry. We'll hear a word from our sponsors.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple.
And here we go, folks. Puck drop at center ice after that short break. And here we go. One back by the Weeks. Swain will move it down into his own zone. Sullivan's after it. Over. Dumped in. Burham will throw it in for the rush. Thorne plays it out of his net. Tanner along the boards. Sim for the Weeks got a point on that previous goal, so he'll move up to 13 points on the season. We'll stop the play. So it looks like Rush have gotten a penalty. Not sure for what, but the Weeks will go on a 2-minute power play. Here we go. One up for Cameron. Cameron along the blue line with it now. He'll throw it in. Passed over to Sim. Sim now, he'll move into the corner. Back up for Cameron. For Williams. Williams has a look. He'll move it. He'll try and move it back, but he loses that. He'll regain possession and have to skate around over from Sim. Sim down for Swain. Swain will move it over, and that's a goal! What a one-timer! A great setup there. Jack Cameron will get that 1T goal. One of the rookies on the Weeks here this season. He's having a great campaign so far. So Weeks will go 2-0 on that power play goal. Rush have it. That's blocked off by Green and up for McKenzie, and he'll dump it in to the Rush zone. Moved around to Heb. And moved around. Green picks it up along the boards. He'll move into the corner with it. Eisner battling. And that's up and out of the zone. Teams will make a change here. And the draw will be in the Rush zone. Green taking the draw for the Weeks. Pugsley. He'll move it down. That's picked up and rimmed out by the Rush. Bertram trying to keep it in. They'll battle for it with Gracie. And it's an offside. So Sim leads the Weeks in points with 13, but Ethan Frazier leads with goals with 7 so far on his season. He'll look to put that number up here tonight. Here comes Gold. He's got the speed. He'll move in. Shot on net, and that goes off the pad of Thorne. Bertram now. He'll move it up for Kidd. Kidd can't keep it in, so that'll be a battle for it. McCackern is behind his own net now. He'll move it up into the neutral zone, and that's a little too far for Frazier, but he's racing for it. Goalie's out. Gracie now. He'll move it over. Kidd still got it. He'll get tripped up on the play. Moved over for McCackern. McCackern moves in. He'll have a couple moves and dump it. Frazier behind the net now. Into the corner. Battling for it. Here comes Williams. He'll move it up. McCackern. For Bertram. Bertram now. He'll throw it in. Kidd. Kidd keeping possession of it. With some pressure on him, and he'll lose that one to Gold. Up for Gracie. Here comes Gracie with the toe drag, but he'll get tripped up on the play. No call on that play. Gracie and McCacken will have a little stick battle after that one, but here comes Kidd. Kidd shot on net, that's wide. White will pick up the rebound along the boards. He'll fake a play and dump it. Frazier now moves it in front. That goes off the goalie's stick, and Allen will pick it up for the rush and try and clear it, but Cameron's there. Cameron moves in, down for Williams, over to White. Cameron now. He'll try and get it in, but that'll be covered. We'll have a stoppage in play. Hardy in the nets tonight for the rush. Weeks will make a change here. And the draw, Sim battling for it. He'll win it back to Cameron. Moved over for Croft, and he'll take a shot. That's rebounded. Croft still battling for it. Sullivan will try and keep it in, and he will. Move back. Rush will take possession. Moved up. Sim picks that up. Here comes Sim. Back. Shot on net. That goes high. Croft now moves it up for Cameron. Cameron with it. He'll lose possession, but Sim's there to pick it up. Sim will move it in. Fancy move around. That's blocked off. Not without Croft grabbing it. Croft now. He'll take it along the boards under some pressure. Give it off to Cameron, who bets it in. Back to Cameron. Cameron moves in, circles around. Up for George. George will take a shot in. And that's blocked by a rush player. And they'll clear. Cameron's going to try and catch him on the change here. Here comes George. Back for Sim. Sim with a move, and he'll take a shot, and that's high. And gloved by Hardy. 5 minutes left to go here in this period. Weeks will make another change. McIntosh taking the draw. That's one back by the Weeks, but we'll have a faulty start. McIntosh again, one back by the rush, but it's in on the net. Moved up, kept in by McKenzie. McIntosh battling for it, kept in again by McKenzie, and he'll put it to the left of the net. Tanner's battling for it with McLean. Moved over from McIntosh to Swain. Swain back, and that goes out into the neutral zone, so Weeks will have to regroup. Williams back for McKenzie. He'll move it back for Williams, and here he'll come into the neutral zone. Williams has a look, moves over. They can't bury that one in, so Tanner will dump it in. McIntosh and Pugsley battling for it in the corner. Number 77 for the rush will pick it up. He'll move it in the neutral zone. Pugsley will take possession and move it back for Williams. For Pugsley. Pugsley moves in, but he can't get it far in without being blocked off. McKenzie will dump it. Hardy comes out of his net to make a play. McLean will throw it around. That's moved up. McCacken in the neutral zone will dump it in. That goes to McLean, and he'll pick it up for Gold. Gold will move it up. Here he comes, Gold, with some speed. He'll try and make a move, but Bertram's there to block him. Gold's the leader for points, I believe, on the rush. As of right now, Gracie's battling for it. Gold's tripped there. Slot will go back up for the defense. McPhee now, he'll take a shot on net, and that's high. Gracie will try and put it in front, no one's there. Eisner, he'll pick it up along the Weeks boards and move it out to the neutral zone. And dump. Bertram's after it though, he's got some speed. He'll move it behind the net. In the corner now, he'll move it up. Thrown on net, White's there to pick up the rebound, but that's thrown away by the captain. McPhee battling for it in the corner. Moved up for Sullivan. Shot on net by Sullivan. That goes off a couple bodies and goes wide. Cameron. In the corner, battling. He's getting some help from Frazier. He'll move it up for Kidd. Kidd's there to keep it in. But that'll move back down for the rush. McPhee now. He'll clear it out of the rush zone. And here comes Gracie. He'll get tripped up. And it's moved down. White will try and get it. Here comes Kidd. Kidd's got a chance in. Fancy move and saved by Hardy. And trip. And he'll trip, sorry. Here come the rush. 4-on-2. Berman over. And glove saved by Thorne. Couple close chances by both teams. So the draw here will be in the weak zone. Move back. Cameron with it now. Cameron moves it up. That's blocked off by Mervyn, and he'll take it in with some speed. But that's blocked off by Croft and Sim. Cameron in the corner. Battling for it, but Miller's there. Miller's still battling for it with George. But Cameron will rim it around to Croft. And Croft will clear. Sim picks it up. Try not to go offside as George, but here's Sim. He'll move in. Down in behind the net, up for George. And that's in. George will get his second goal of the game. Nearly identical goals for George as he bats in the left side rebound. Weeks will go up 3-0 after that goal. Still lots of game left here. Gold wins the drawback. He'll move it over for Berman. McLean, sorry. Williams move it up. Gracie dumps it back in, however. McKenzie will be there in the corner. A minute left to go here in this frame of play. Here comes McIntosh, sorry. He'll drop it back for Tanner. Tanner shot on net, and that's glove saved by Hardy.
Score by number 15, that is George. Assist number 14,
Sim will get another point this game as his line's producing. One back into the corner. McPhee will rim it around. Moved up to Gracie, but he can't get a handle on it. He's got Gold with him, but he can't get a handle on that puck, so Williams will try and get it out. 39 seconds left to go here. Moved over for Gracie. Williams again with a great defensive play to break that up. He'll move it up. White can't get to it, so they'll have to wait. And Williams. And we'll go offside. 25 seconds left here in this frame. Weeks will make a quick change. Draw will be right outside the rush zone. One back by the Weeks. Eisner will try and tip it in, but Green's there. McPhee moves it out of the zone and up to Gold for the rush. Gold now. He'll move it in on net. Rebound will be blocked off and thrown away by Green. And that's out of the zone with 10 seconds left. Gold will throw it into the corner. Bertram's after it. He'll take the puck, and move it into the corner. And he'll wait that one out as the first period comes to an end. 3 goals from the Weeks. George scoring 2 of them. And Cameron with a great one-timer. We'll be back here in just a moment, folks, for the second period. Welcome back here, folks, for the second period of this Weeks versus Rush matchup. Weeks up 3-0. Second period is underway. One back. McCackern will throw it in to the Rush zone. Hardy plays it. It's moved around and moved up. Bertram in the center zone. He'll dump it back in. Hardy again playing it. Moved up for Dunn. But McCackern gets it and he'll throw it in behind the net. White's after it. McPhee will clear it for the Rush. And there will be an icing against the Rush on that play. So the play story will move down to the Rush zone. Puck's dropped, battle for it. Bertram keeps it in, he'll dump it. White back there, here's Kidd. Kidd's battling for it. That gets moved over to McPhee. McPhee will clear. And we'll get another icing. Gold. Couldn't get there in time. Here we go. A quick change from the Weeks. Sim taking the draw now. That'll be moved back for Williams. He'll dump it in. Over to Croft. Croft with a shot. That's wide. Saved by Hardy. George back for Williams. Move down in deep. Rush take possession in the corner. They'll move it over. McPhee now. He'll move it up for Gold. Kept in by Williams. And dumped in by Sim. George is after it. He'll move it over Croft. Croft's got a chance. And that'll go in between the legs of Hardy with the save. Good chance there for Croft. See him smiling out there. He's not too happy about that one. Still lots of game left to go here, though. Sim taking the draw. That'll be one back. George now. He'll move it around the boards. But Miller's there to pick it up. He'll dump it back. McKenzie takes possession for the Weeks. Over to Williams. Williams will move it up for McKenzie. With a great pass, and McKenzie will dump it in. Miller's after it for the Rush. Thrown in deep, Cross there. He'll try and move it in front, but that moves over for Miller, number 2. Moved in. Here comes Croft. Play broken up by McLeod. McKenzie will get possession in his own zone, and he'll loop around and move it up. Sim for Swain. Swain's moving in. He'll try and move it back, but that's blocked off. And a goal! Cohen Tanner will pot the 4th goal in for the Weeks. This game goes to 4-0 early in the second here. Puck drop at center ice. Move back. McLean will dump it in. Cameron with it now. That'll be moved up. Tanner will pick it off. Here comes McIntosh. Looks like we're going to get a penalty here against the Rush. Tanner in the corner. He'll move it up. Cameron. Extra man's out for the Weeks here before this penalty gets called. Tanner making a fancy play, and he'll dump it in. The Rush will touch that puck. And the Weeks will go to their second power play. Thorne back to his net. And they'll have a quick change here from both teams. And here we go. Green will take the draw here for the Weeks. Moved back for Bertram to Pugsley. Pugsley moves in with a shot on net. That's rebounded and cleared. Pugsley on the boards with it now. He'll move it up. Bertram. He'll have a look and move it over for McKenzie back to Pugsley. He can't get a good handle on that puck, so he'll take it back for Bertram. Bertram now for Pugsley. Pugsley moves in. Blocked off Bertram now. Shot on net. Eisner tries to tip it in. Pugsley picks up the rebound. Shot on net. That's off the shoulder of Hardy. Pugsley along the boards. He'll move it over for Bertram. Bertram now back for Pugsley. He'll throw it down in for Green. Back up to Bertram. To Pugsley. Pugsley with a fancy move. He'll move in. That gets tipped away, but Bertram's there and he'll take a shot. That's off Hardy and cleared by the Rush. So they'll kill off half of the week's power play there. Miller's after it for the Rush. Bertram takes off with it. Frazier. Frazier moves in, passed over to White, but that gets broken up by Miller. Throwing up for Kidd. Kidd for Frazier. Frazier will take a minute. Back to Kidd. Kidd has a look, and he'll throw it back for Cameron. Cameron moves in for Williams, and that's a shot wide. Kidd moves it up. Out of the zone. The Weeks will have to regroup, but here comes Williams. Along the boards, he'll take a second. He'll walk in on the left side, move it back for Kidd. Kidd walks in with a shot. That's off a body in front. Durham to be specific. Here's White in the corner, and we'll get a stoppage in play. A penalty, it looks like. Williams going to the box for the Weeks. So the Rush will receive their first power play of the game. It'll be 4-on-4 for 5 seconds, and then the Rush will have the man advantage here. Gold taking the draw for them. One back by the Weeks. McCacken will take possession behind his net. He'll move it up into the neutral zone. Back for Sim to Sullivan. Sullivan will move in and dump it in as they are now on the penalty kill. Rush now. George is in there to break it up. Moved up for McPhee. McPhee now. He'll dump it into the weak zone. Rimmed around, and Sim will try and clear, but that's kept in by Gracie. Sim clears it to the neutral zone. Number 7 with it now. He'll dump it in. Sullivan. Up for Sim, but that's kept in by Gold. Down for Dunn. He can't get a handle on it, so Sim's there. Over to number 7. He'll move it over. Gracie. Up for Gold. Back to Gracie. He'll tip it back. Back down in for Gracie. To Gold. Moved in. That's tipped and cleared by the Weeks. Down in to the Rush zone. 45 seconds left here on the Rush power play. Gracie taking his time and trying to set something up here. Rush will move it out of their own zone. Along the boards now, battle for it. Dunn with a fancy move, and he'll rim it around into the weak zone. Croft, he'll tip it out. Bertram, and he'll throw it in.
The winner of the 50-50 on 248
Dunn battling for it.
was Vicky Sorrento. The Weeks would like to thank everybody for their support.
McKenzie, he'll move it over for Bertram. Back to McKenzie behind his own net. And they'll clear it. On net, out of the box, here comes Williams. He'll stop, cut in. And that's almost tipped in, but kept out by Hardy. A close chance there for the Weeks as they come off of the penalty kill. Bertram throws it in. Williams in the corner now. Kept in by McKenzie. Williams. He'll throw it in front. That's a missed one-timer by Frazier. Close chance. And dumped in. Gracie's there to beat that icing. Bertram, however, will pick it up and move it up. Gold's there to cut that off. Gold takes his time up at the blue line. He'll cut in. Battle forward in the corner. McKenzie will get up to Swain. Swain will circle back into his own zone and have a look. He'll move it up for Frazier. Frazier now along the boards. He takes a second and cuts back up for Cameron. Shot on net and a shoulder save by Hardy. And taken out by McLeod. McLeod will take it in with a shot on net. That's saved by Thorne and cleared by McKenzie. Moved into the middle. No one there to get it though, so Burham will move it up. Tanner with a good defensive play to break that up, and McIntosh there. Gibb moves it over. Shot on net. That goes wide. Cleared. Almost cleared, sorry, by Swain, but moved in by Andrea. Sullivan. He'll move it up. Swain can't get a handle on it. That's picked up by the Rush behind their own net. Tanner battling for it. Along the boards, Pugsley going after it. But Miller will come out with it for the Rush. Tanner there. He picks it up with his glove and hands it in. McIntosh trying to battle for it. Sullivan picks it up. He'll move in. Shot on net, and that's saved. Rebound. Glove down by Hardy. So the draw here in the Rush zone. Green will take it. And he'll win it back. Pugsley battling for it. Eisner in the corner. Couple players from each team behind the net. Green will come out with it. Shot on net by Pugsley. That goes wide. Eisner behind the net for Pugsley. That goes high and off the siding. Pugsley. He loops around. He's trying to cut in. McCackern gets it at the blue line. He'll take a shot. The rebound's alive, but goes into the corner. Pugsley couldn't bury that one. Battling for it. McCackern pinches to go after it. And it's moved out to the neutral zone. Green for Bertram. Bertram will throw it in and around. Hardy comes out of the net to play it. Another battle along the boards. And McLean will move it out. Bertram keeps it in, however. Pugsley in the corner now. Lots of hits being thrown along the boards. And we'll see a stoppage in play. As McLean has some words exchanged with Green. And Green will go to the box. For what, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, Rush get their second power play of the game. With 10:05 left to go. Dunn taking the draw for them. It's 5-on-4. Williams now. Back for McKenzie, and McKenzie will clear. Hardy comes out of the net to play it. He'll move it back to McLeod. Rush behind his own net. White's there to try and break that play up. With some pressure. Gold trying to poke it through. And that'll be offside.
2 minutes for head contact. Time to penalty. 9:58.
We'll have a quick timeout here. With a word from our sponsors.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
And we're back to some hockey here. Draw being held outside the weak zone. Rush on the power play trying to get on the board. One back to Sullivan. And Sullivan will clear it for the Weeks. They'll take it behind their own net. For McLeod. McLeod now. He'll move it in. He's got some speed into the corner. Dunn picks it up off him. Dunn battling for it. That's moved up and out to the neutral zone, but kept in by McLeod. Sullivan in his own end. He'll clear it off the boards and down to the rush zone. Behind the net's McLeod. He'll move out and throw it up for Dunn. Dunn tries to move around Sullivan, but he'll clear it to the neutral zone. Kidd now trying to make a play. Here comes Kidd with some speed. Puck's too far, and he tips it in! What a goal! Nathan Kidd dived for that puck and poked it in through the 5-hole for a short-handed marker. What a goal. Again, by Nathan Kidd. So Weeks will go up 5-0. Thrown into the rush zone, sorry. Pugsley battling for it, but he'll go out to Gideon.
Weeks shorthanded goal.
Gideon moves it up and into the Weeks zone. Bertram's there to pick it up for him. Bertram to McCackern. And dumped by McCackern on net with a missile. And Hardy will decide to cover that with just 9 seconds left on the rush power play. .8:14 left to go. That's one back by the rush. Eisener's there to battle for it though. Moves up for Gideon. Gideon over. That'll get broken up by Green. Hebs on him though. Rush battling for it in the corner. Andrew in the corner now. He'll move it around behind the net. But that's picked up and cleared out by Green. Almost. Gideon keeps it in. Bertram will move it out. Morrison. He'll move it over. Back for Bertram, and he'll move it up to Eisener. Eisener moved over for Green. Green moves in. He'll pass it back to Eisener. He'll throw it on net. That's just to the left of the post. And that'll be cleared by the rush to the neutral zone. Over to Williams now. Williams moves it up to Eisener. He'll try and move it up for George, but he can't get to it in time. Green's there though, and he'll dump it in. Morrison in the corner with it for the rush. Gets moved up to the neutral zone and thrown back into the rush zone. Hardy's out of the net to play it, however. George now. He'll move it in for Sim behind the net. Andrea can't get a handle on it. And that'll get thrown out by the rush into the weak zone. And they'll make a quick change. Williams. He'll move it into the neutral zone with some speed. Good move around, and he'll walk in. He'll play it in front. Rebounds alive. And George scores for the hat trick. Once again, tapping in the rebound. So Weeks will go up 6-0. McIntosh now. Back for Williams to McKenzie. McKenzie will move it over to Swain. Swain walks in. Here comes Gold. He'll try and move it over, but that gets blocked off by McKenzie. and on to Thorne. So Thorne will cover that. We'll have a stoppage in play.
13-39.
The draw here in the weak zone. It looks like Gold will take it for the rush. Just a second as Thorne puts on his mask and we're ready to go. McIntosh against Gold here. Puck's dropped. Williams picks it up behind his net over to McKenzie. Moved up. Tanner now. He'll move it over. Back to Tanner. Tanner will get some speed in the neutral zone. He walks in. Back for McKenzie. McKenzie will throw it on net. That's off of Hardy. Into the boards and cleared by the rush. And we'll get an icing. Weeks will get a quick change here. Frazier taking the draw for the Weeks. That'll be one back by the rush. Into the corner and moved up. Here comes Dunn with it in the neutral zone. He'll hand it over to Gold. Gold back for Date Gracie. He'll take a couple shots and that'll get blocked. Great play there by Kidd, and he'll pick it up and move it in. Kidd gets blocked off, but goes into the corner and passes it out. White over to Cameron. Back to White. White with a shot on net, and that's high. Kidd trying to tap in the rebound. That'll go back to Sullivan and put out. Here comes Gracie. Thorne will come out to play it, however, and eliminate that chance for the rush. Kidd now. He'll slowly move it in for Frazier. Frazier gets hit off that one, and Dunn will pick it up. Dunn moves it up. Gracie again. He's got a chance. Sullivan's rushing back. Shot on net off of the pad of Thorne. Dunn. He'll move it around. Sullivan's after it. He'll move it up and out into the neutral zone. McLeod's after it. McLeod will take a second behind his net for his team to change. And he'll move it out. That gets moved up. Toe drag. Another one. Shot on net and the rebound goes wide. Moved up for Pugsley. Pugsley will tip it in and try and go after it. But Berman's there to move it out. McCacken will pick it up in the neutral zone and take it into his own end. Pugsley to Bircham. Bircham now, he'll walk in. He'll try and tip it through, but that's blocked by McLeod. McCacken now. He'll try and get it out. Eisner. Moved up, and McLeod will go after it. He'll take a moment behind his net to regroup. Pugsley's there watching, though. McCacken now, he'll try and break that play up off of Miller of the rush. Battle for it along the boards, and that'll spit out to McLeod. Berman trying to block Green from getting to that, but Eisner comes in and picks it up. He'll move it in front. Pugsley misses the rebound, and he'll get cleared. Moved out to center. Rush will take it. Here comes Miller. From Miller, over, and that'll go wide into the corner. McCacken, he'll hand it away, but Thorne loses the rebound, and that'll go wide. Miller now, number 21, trying to keep it in, but George is there, and he'll tip it out to Sim. Sim and George will move it in. They've put together for a lot of points this game. George, he'll try and move it in front and tap it in, but he can't do it this time. Croft's there, but he can't get a handle on it. So that'll get moved out. Gold, he'll move it up. Blocked off by Williams, but he'll pick it up again. Back for Gracie. McKenzie will pick up that puck, however, and move it up. Here comes Croft. Tipped in onto net, and Hardy will cover. the draw here in the rush zone. Shots 30-11 for the Weeks. And McIntosh will win it back to Williams. Dumped in and around. McIntosh putting on some pressure, but Gold will try and clear it out. Swain, he'll go after it. Turned around by the rush up to Dunn. Dunn will throw it up. Gold can't keep a handle on it. Here comes McIntosh with a shot on net. That goes wide. Swain up for Williams to McKenzie. The shot on net. Rebound's alive. And moved out of the way. McKenzie again though. He'll move it back for Swain, but they can't keep a handle. Here comes Gold and Gracie. Gold now. Tipped off by Williams. A good defensive play. As he rushes back. Rush move in. Another great play by the defense here of the Weeks to break up a goal opportunity. Shot on net. It goes high and over. McKenzie will try and run it up. But McPhee's there to keep it in, the captain. Williams back up to McPhee. Shot on net by McPhee, and that goes high. Swain's there. He can't keep a handle on it. Here comes Dunn with a shot, and that'll go high and out. With just 41 seconds left to go here. Both teams will make a change for the final minute of this period. And the draw will be in the Weeks zone. Andrea taking it for the rush story. And I got one back by the Weeks, but Gibb moves it up. Frazier now. Eisner and Frazier. Here comes Frazier. He'll move in, but the puck will get tipped off his stick. And we'll have another stoppage. Seems to be something happening here. I'm not sure. Refs talking over. We'll have a penalty shot. Oh, God. I need to... All right, Frazier for the penalty shot. He'll move in slow. Frazier moves in. Shot on net, and that goes off the pad of Hardy with a big save to keep this lead by the Weeks in reach for the rush. So we'll go back to 5-on-5 play as Kidd takes the draw with 27 seconds left to go. He'll win it back. Moved up. Frazier with it. He'll take a shot on net. That's off a body. White in the corner now. He'll move it up and around for Cameron to Sullivan. Sullivan with a shot on net. Glove down by Hardy, and he'll pick off the rebound. 12 seconds left to go. Rush will make a change, sending Gracie, Dunn, and Gold out. 12 seconds. Frazier taking the draw. Moved up for Gold. White will take a shot, gets blocked. Another one, blocked again. Moved over to Sullivan. Sullivan will dump it into the corner. And down behind the net, Frazier and Kidd battling for it. They'll try and move it in front, but the frame will end. So we'll end the second period off with 6-0 Weeks. Shots 33-12. We'll be back in just a moment for the third. Welcome back, folks, to this game between the Weeks and the Rush. Third period is underway. Thrown in, but McPhee will pick that up and moved up for Gracie. Gracie will dump it into the Weeks zone. McCachran's there fighting against Gold for the puck. Moved up. McPhee now with it. He'll throw it in off a body, and Gracie will tap one in for the Rush's first goal of the game. Shot from McPhee, hit off a leg of a Weeks player and set itself up in front of Gracie, and he'll tap it in top left corner. Thorne couldn't get over in time to stop it. So 6-1 the score now. One back by the Weeks, Kids after it. He'll circle around in his own zone and move it up for Williams. Williams back for Frazier. Frazier will take it into his own zone, or the Rush zone, sorry. Try and make a move, but that gets broken up. Gracie will pick the puck up and move it up. Tapped in by Gold. McKenzie's after it. He'll move it up. McKenzie now with it. He'll walk in and shoot it on net. The rebound, close there, but picked away. It'll go back up for White. He'll try and keep it in, but here come the Rush. It's done. Done with a move, and he'll throw it backhand, and that'll get saved by Thorne. Move back. Burham. He'll take a shot on net. Rebound goes to the left and picked up by Sim. Sim now, he'll move it up and throw it in onto the net. Kid's almost there for the rebound, but Hardy covers that one up, and we'll have a stoppage in play. So Croft Sim, taking the draw here in the Rush zone. And here we go. Croft one back for Cameron. Cameron moving into the neutral zone and back for the captain Sullivan. That'll get dumped in. McLeod behind his own net. He'll move it up. Sim's there to block that play off, and he'll pick it up and walk in. Shot on net, that's blocked. Sullivan now, he'll pick up the rebound and shoot it in. Goes behind the net for George with 3 goals, and that's moved over to Sim. He'll try and tap it in, but it'll go off the pad of Hardy. George, and that goes out into the neutral zone. So Sullivan will go after it with Cameron by his side. He'll move it up. George has it. He'll walk in, hand it over to Croft, and he'll take a backhand shot, and that'll be covered by Hardy. Both teams making a quick change here to get fresh legs on the ice. 17:44 left to go here in this third period. McIntosh wins the draw back to Bircham. Bircham into the corner for Swain, I believe. That'll get moved out by the Rush for Gold. Picked off by Tanner, but Gold will pick up the rebound and tap it in. Moved up for McLean. McLean will take a shot, and that'll go high off the glass behind the net. Dunn's there in the corner to pick it up. He'll rim it around, and Tanner will pick it up in the corner for the Weeks. Gold battling forward along the boards. He'll move it in for Dunn. He can't get a handle on it, so McCachran will pick it up and move it up for Swain. Kept in by the Rush. Just along the blue line of the Weeks end. Bircham's there. He'll move it up for Tanner. Tanner walks in, moves it in for McIntosh, but he can't keep a handle on it. And it's back for the Rush. They'll make a play. Moves it up. Gold's there. Gold and Gracie 2-on-1. He'll pass it over, and that'll get blocked off and broken up by Bircham with a great defensive play. McPhee will dump it in, and that will be an icing. So the play will go down into the rush zone, with Gold taking the draw against Green. Battling forward and along, and the rush will win it back. McPhee now. He'll take it along the boards and flip it out to the center. Gracie's there, and that'll get tipped in to the bench, so we'll have another stoppage in play. Draw here outside of the weak zone, one back by the Weeks. Williams. He'll move it up. Tipped away by Burham though. He'll break that play up. Weeks will have to clear, so Rush get a chance to set something up. That play's broken up by Pugsley. Pugsley's in. He'll move up and take a shot on net. That goes wide. Injuries there battling. Back for Burham. Pugsley now. McLeod can pick that up. Pugsley will move it in, but Burham's there to block that pass off for the rush, and he'll move it up. Williams now will retrieve it in his own zone and move it around to McKenzie. Up for Eisner. Eisner with some speed, but that gets broken up and thrown in. Green will pick it up along the boards, not without Morrison giving him some pressure. Gideon over. Burham now. He'll move it up. Heb over. Kidd will pick up that, and he'll walk in over, and that's broken up by Andrea. Frazier now. He'll put it down in. White can't get a handle on that, so that'll rim up and clear the zone. Camera now in the corner for Sullivan. Sullivan moves it up and tipped in by Kidd. Hardy will come out of the net and play it off for McLean. McLean will rim it around for the rush, but Sullivan keeps it in. Frazier there to intercept that pass. Nifty move around. He'll move it over for White. White with a shot on net. Rebounds alive. And he'll get broken up. Gracie takes it now. Gold trying to get a handle on it. Done. Down for Gold into the weak zone. Up for McLean. McLean will walk in and take a shot. That's blocked off by Kidd. Back for McLean with a 1-T. And Thorne will stop that. Both teams will change here after a long shift. And the draw will be in the weak zone. Gold taking the draw against Sim. Sim takes it. He'll move it up for Croft. Croft will take it into the rush zone. Here comes George looking for his fourth of the game. That'll get thrown into the corner. And moved up for Bertram in the neutral zone. Sim now with it, trying to get Gold off him, but he'll take it with a fancy move around. And saved by Thorne as Gold goes into the boards after a nice move. Rush now with it. Shot blocked from the blue line. Croft in the corner of his own end. Moved over. McCachran now. He'll move it up. George has got a good stretch. He'll take it in with a shot on net. Rebounds alive. But McPhee's there to break that up. And we'll have an icing penalty, I believe. Or not a penalty, sorry. An icing call, rather. So we'll go back down into the weak zone with 3:07 left to go in this third period. Shots 37-18 for the Weeks. Draw onto Thorne, and he'll bat it away. Cackard moves it up, and that's up into the rafters. Never a good stop. Place to go with it. So we'll go back down into the weak zone. Elaine taking the draw. He'll get kicked out of the circle. Both of them will get kicked out of the circle. So now it's Miller versus Swain. And the puck's finally dropped. Moved up for Tanner. Tanner taking his time at the blue line. He'll try and get it in. That's over for McIntosh and in. It's not in, it's out. And it's cleared to the neutral zone. A close play there. Williams back to McKenzie in their own zone. McKenzie's tripped up on the play. No call on that. Tanner to Williams. Williams has some speed. He'll move it in. Back for Swain, and that'll get broken up by Burham and rimmed around. Morrison now trying to get it out, but Tanner takes it from him. Swain, he'll move it over to McKenzie with a shot on net. That goes wide off a couple of legs. Williams now for McKenzie. McKenzie walks in, over to Swain, and that's off the post with a great setup. Hardy wasn't back in time, but Swain hit the post, so we'll go further into this period. Williams shot off a leg and hit high. That's cleared out to McKenzie. He'll keep it in, however, to Williams. He'll walk in, take a shot, and that's high to the right. McKenzie thrown in. Miller's trying to battle for it here for the rush, but Swain will pick it up down behind the net as he receives some pressure from Burham. Tanner, he'll move around, a couple nice moves, in on net, and that's high, and around the boards. That'll go out to the neutral zone, so Weeks will have to regroup. Williams trying to catch the rush on the change. He'll move in and pass it over, and that's tapped in by Pugsley for the Weeks' 7th goal of the game. Great play by Williams to set Pugsley up with that 1-T there. So we'll have a face-off at center ice, and that's one back by the Weeks. Eisner with it. Move back for Sullivan to Cameron. Back to Sullivan. Sullivan walks in and throws it in on net, or to the left of the net, sorry. McPhee will rim it around out to the neutral zone where Cameron will pick it up to Sullivan in the neutral. Thrown in, and Green can't reach that one. So McPhee will take possession and rip it around. Eisner now. He's going to try walking in, pass it off, and shot on net, and that goes high and wide. Sullivan along the boards, trying to keep it in. Here comes Gracie, and he'll tip it into the weak zone. Around for Cameron, however. Cameron picks it up and takes a minute in his own zone to have a look at who he's got. Over for McPhee for the rush. He'll take a shot on net, and that's gloved. Then covered by Thorne. 10-10 left to go here in this final period. So the draw here in the weak zone. Gold taking it for the rush. He wins it back to Gracie, to Burhan. Back to Gracie. Moved into Gold in the corner. He'll get hit, and McCachran will take it off of him. McCachran now moving in and dumps it into the rush zone. Rebound goes in front. Had a good chance on it, but Hardy was there. Moves it up. Williams to Kidd, and Kidd will tap in that wide open net. Weeks 8-1. We'll have a quick stoppage of play here after that goal for a timeout. We'll hear word from our sponsors.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
And we're back here, folks, for the third period. Puck drop at center ice. One back by the Rush, and they'll take possession in their own end. McPhee battling forward along the boards. That's thrown in front by the Weeks. McCacker now will pick it up the blue line for Bircham. Shot on net, and that hit off Hardy. White with a fancy move to get it around Andrea. He'll move it up to McCacker to Bircham. Shot on net, and that hits off of McPhee. McCacker back for McCacker. Shot on net, that goes off the pad. Kidd now moved up to McCacker. McCacker keeps it in. And move it down into the corner for Frazier there. And it's locked up against the corner. Kidd gets it out and moves it up for McCacker. He'll walk in and take a shot, blocked and thrown in, but Bertram's there. He'll take a shot, and that goes up and around, and he'll leave the zone. Bertram's after it. He'll move it up and tipped in by Kidd, and he'll go off for a change. Rush with it now. Moved up for Gold. Back for Gracie. Gold moves in, and he can't get a handle on it. It's allowed to go up and out off of McKenzie's stick. So the draw in the weak zone. Moved back. And in for Dunn, sorry. And moved up. Here comes George looking for his fourth. He'll get hooked up. And we'll see perhaps another penalty shot here. No penalty shot on that play as McLeod goes to the box. For hooking. George was off and away. So Croft will take the draw in the rush zone. 5-on-4 for the Weeks. Moved up. Back for McKenzie. He'll move it over. Sim moves it down into the corner. Croft. He'll move it up for McKenzie. McKenzie walks in, takes a shot. That hits off of Andrea. Moved up for Sim. Who moves it back in for Croft. Croft for Sim, and Sim will fake the 1T and go down in. He'll move it around. And he'll move it and drop it off for McKenzie. Back for Williams to McKenzie. He'll take a shot, and that goes in front. It's loose, and it goes behind. McKenzie's there. Over for Williams to McKenzie. He'll walk in and hand it over to George, sorry. George now. Up for Williams. To Sim. And he'll get hit off the puck, and he'll get cleared by Miller. So Sullivan there. Pick up the puck. He'll move it in. McPhee's there to block him. And clear it. So that'll go back down into the weak zone. McCacker after it into the corner. He'll move it up to Tanner. Tanner's having a look. He'll walk in with it. Here comes Tanner, and that's blocked off. Swain in the boards with it now. Down in for Tanner. Thought it'd be moved around. McCacker pinches in for it. McCacker up for McIntosh. For Sullivan. Back to McIntosh. He'll move it over for McCacker, and he'll take a shot, and that goes off the post and out. So we'll get a quick stoppage here. Both teams making a change. And here's Sullivan. One back. Eisner for Green. Moves up. Gold's trying to get it out, so he'll rim it around behind his net. Gracie's battling for it, but Sullivan beats him in the race. McPhee will try and clear it, but Sullivan again, and we'll have a stoppage in play. So Green taking the draw right outside the rush zone against Gold. One back by Gold to McPhee. That's over. Moved up. Blocked off by the ref. Pugsley will pick it up off of him and give him a good thank you. That's dumped in by Gold to Sullivan. Back from McCackern now to Sullivan. He'll move it up. Eisner tips it in. McPhee isn't there in time. Pugsley battling for it. He'll move around and shoot it in to the corner for Eisner. Eisner back for Green. Green makes a play. Over to Cameron. He'll throw it in on net. Pugsley there trying to get it in. Green will come around with it, the other side of the net, and move it up for Cameron. Down for Pugsley. Dunn's in the corner to pick it up for his team, and he'll try and clear, but Burcham, keeps it in. And that'll go up and out to Cameron in the neutral zone. To Burcham, and he'll dump it in off the glass. Back to the neutral zone as the battle for it. Burcham now. He'll walk in with Frazier. Back for Kidd. Kidd tries to cut in. Oh, and he'll get sticked in the face. That's never a good play. So Gracie will go to the box, for high sticking. And Weeks will receive a power play here. Moved up. Kidd now. He'll have a look. Moves it over for Frazier. Back from McCackern. He'll throw it in, but Hardy's there with a toe save to block that one. And we'll have a dance battle between White and not sure who the rush player was, but it looks like they're both going to the box here. So it should still be 5-on-4. Looks like it was McLean for the rush battling against White. So they'll go to the sin bin. And we'll resume to 5-on-4 play here for the Weeks. 4:11 left to go here in this third period. Shots 44-20 for the Weeks. It looks like Heb's going to the box too for the rush. So it's 5-on-3 for the Weeks. Maybe. Looks like nobody really knows. It's 5-on-3, okay. One back. Pugsley picks it up. He'll move it off for Kidd, it looks like. He'll move it to Sullivan. He'll take a shot. That rebound's alive. Hardy's there to cover that one with a diving save. So Frazier will take the draw here in the rush zone, 5-on-3. Back for McCackern. Over, and that's a 1T, and that goes wide and out. Weeks regrouping now. Here comes Kidd with some speed. And that's tipped away by Gold, and he'll take a rush at the net. Fancy move in. He can't get around, though. Good play by McCackern to keep him out. Thorne will play the puck. Kidd now. He'll move it up. Frazier. Back for Kidd. Back to Frazier. Back for Kidd. To McCackern, and he'll take a shot. Stick save by Hardy. And cleared by the rush. We're having a great penalty kill here.
2 minutes for cross-checking and 2 minutes for running.
Moved up. Pugsley gets it off of Thorne. Pugsley now. He'll walk his way in and move it back for McKenzie. Over for Kidd to McKenzie to Kidd, or Williams it looks like. Williams with a shot. That's off. Tanner now walks in. He'll try and get it, but that'll get cleared by Miller. And down to Jake Thorne. McKenzie picks it up off of him. Move it into the neutral zone up for Williams. Williams will move in and we'll have an offside. 2:32 left in this final frame. Draw right outside of the rush zone. One back by McIntosh, but Gold's there with some speed to pick it up. McKenzie now. Over for Williams. Gracie's out of the box. So we'll go to 5-on-4 play for 8 seconds. McLeod now. He'll move it up and out. But McKenzie's there to pick it up, and he'll pick up some speed and move in. McKenzie turns around and throws in front of the net. McIntosh can't bury it. Williams there. He'll throw it in behind the net for McIntosh. He'll battle with McLeod though, and Gold. Eisner moves it up for McKenzie to Williams. Well, that's blocked by Heb as he's out of the box. And shot on net by Eisner, but that'll go wide off of Party's pad. And it's up for Gracie. Gracie's in. He'll make a move and throw it in front, but no one's there. Move back for Williams, so Williams will take a second behind his net to regroup. And he'll start the play. He moves it up to McKenzie. McKenzie will walk in. And he'll have a battle. McPhee's there and he'll rim it out to Burcham. McPhee again, he'll try the other side, but Sim's there. Sim will try and get it out, but Gold puts some pressure on and he'll take it out. Gold take a shot on net, and that Jake Thorne's there. Sim, he'll move it up with the saucer pass. Blocked off by McPhee, however. So I'll go back to Burcham. To Cameron, to Burcham, to Cameron. Back to Burcham. And moved up to Croft. Croft will hover around the blue line. I take it back into the neutral zone. He can't get it in. 27 seconds left to go. Moved in by Sim. Here comes Sim. Can't get a handle on it, so that'll get tipped out and thrown away by Gracie in the neutral zone. Cameron moves it up for Burcham. And they'll let this clock run out here. As Weeks take the win, 8-1, pushing their record to 8-0. Rush, however, fall to 2-6 on their campaign. Weeks take the win with a George hat trick to help them out. And that'll be the game. Thank you for tuning in to High Button Sports, folks. My name is Vaughn Mason.